Hello and welcome to my top 10 Marvel films. So let's get into it with number 10. Number 10, we have Infinity War. Well, to start with positives, Thanos to start with was a threatening villain, but however he was inconsistent, and it did a really good balancing act. Get across the amount of characters they had to deal with was amazing, and they did it very well by splitting it up into different areas with different characters, and there wasn't too many on one screen at the same time for it to share too much space. However, over the last 6 years, it's been a letdown, because, for a start, they ruined Thanos' motivation. It is incredibly generic from the original comic, where it was he was basically in love with death, which obviously complicates things a lot, but they could have used it as a great point to branch out and explore cosmology in the Marvel universe, rather than be it Thanos being the top of the tree. But yeah, overall it was disappointing. It was a good film, but not amazing. At number 9 we have Winter Soldier, which was a great story. It felt more like a spy film than a comic book film, which is quite good, considering it's people with superpowers running around. The chemistry in Cap and Black Widow was very good, apart from the entire girlfriend business, where she asked, you did know about every 5 seconds. It also was very good from Cap development in his standpoint, because they did a lot of him discovering new things and what he'd missed out in the last half century. Blade, which disproves a lot of things people saying Deadpool was the first R-rated superhero film. Blade was well before that. I'm pretty sure Blade wasn't the first, and Blade was also before Black Panther, so Black Panther wasn't the first black starring superhero film. Which two facts that I think are kind of funny. But Blade is not ashamed to be a comic book film. It's quite fun. It's quite fast paced most of the time. The fight scenes are amazing. The effects are a little dated, but it's not. It doesn't take itself too seriously, so it's not that bad. I mean, you've got the entire plot points really. They want to capture Blade and drain his blood, which is a bit cartoony. Also the quote with ice skating at Hill, that's quite funny as well. At number 7, there's Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, not the second one. To start with, the soundtrack's amazing. I do listen to quite a lot of it on at least a weekly basis. It's funny in a lot of parts. The characters are brilliant and fleshed out quite well in the film. And overall, it's quite odd. It's not conventional. The battle ends with a dance-off, which, from a plot perspective, isn't very good, but it is quite funny when it's happening. So, at number 6, we have Iron Man. Tony Stark's casting to start was brilliant. It's probably the best casting they've done in the Marvel Universe. Maybe Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but I suppose that's not in the Marvel Universe. The effects for Iron Man was very good for the time, and the story was decent as well. It was very action based, but the story was fairly good. It also explores a lot of morals to do with arms sales and all that. Iron Man, in the end, it was very unlucky to come out the same year as The Dark Knight, which kind of overshadowed it quite a lot. But Dark Knight, best comic book film of all time, it's not too bad that it can be compared favourably with that. Number 5, we've got Deadpool, which, to start the casting, again, is very good. It's very true to the character in the comics, and it is very funny. It's probably the funniest film on the list, but that's naturally, it is a comedy, and none of the others really are. I haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet. I'm not even sure it's out. I think it is. But yeah, it's very funny and enjoyable, and I can't really stand Deadpool very much in the comics, but they do a very good job of keeping it fresh and new. But in the comics it gets very annoying very quickly. I didn't think they managed to make him enjoyable over a long period of time. Number 4 is Doctor Strange, and to start, I have to admit that I do not like Benedict Cumberbatch, but he was very good in this. The film is brilliant to look at. It's very visually interesting. They go through a lot of, well, obviously the starting dimension scene when it goes flying through different dimensions. It's very interesting, visually and artistically interesting. They introduce magic, really, because we have the entire Thor cop-out where it's not really magic, it's technology and magic are one and the same, and this is out and out magic. And it has a good narrative about his intellect only taking him so far, blah 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 blah, and doing that. It also has narrative about the Ancient One living for centuries, been dragging down the last couple of seconds, or which is in the last moment to 1,000. It's good commentary. Number 3 is Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, this is a funny film, not quite as funny as Deadpool, but it is quite up there. It's very different for the MCU. It's very how it's done, because it is very weird, more so than Guardians of the Galaxy. It's extremely colourful, and Thor's development is brilliant in the film. He loses his hammer at the start, which is a pretty shocking moment when you've seen it the first time and you don't know it's coming. But also it's the closest thing we're going to see to a World War Hulk film, which, if you don't know, it's a comic series. It's probably one of Marvel's better ones. Which I'd recommend reading it. It's quite good. But I'm quite disappointed we're probably not going to get another Hulk film, because it would be quite good to explore like World War Hulk, World Breaker Hulk, and all that. Number 2 is Spider-Man 2. It's quite old now as far as comic book films are in terms of Marvel. Released 2000 odd. There's a good starring cast. The villain Doc Ock is brilliant. Is played very well, and it's good for Peter Parker because as he loses his powers fairly on in the middle of the film, really. Because up at the start of the film, he loses them midway through. It's very good exploring what it's like, what he has to give up to be Spider-Man, essentially, because obviously his life goes better when he's not Spider-Man. He's doing better in school, he's better with Mary Jane, he's better everywhere. But also with the power of responsibility thing, it comes into play. Whereas he had great power, but he wasn't being responsible enough. That makes sense. And number 1 is Logan. I would say it's by far and away the best Marvel film. It's acted amazingly well. I'm quite surprised Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart didn't get more acknowledgement for what they did, because it is very well acted. It's an amazing send-off to them both as well. And as far as stories go, it's very different to all of the other comic book stories that Marvel have told. It's Wolverine trying to get somewhere. It's very based around one character, rather than the world's going to end, he's trying to take over this, trying to take over that. It's Wolverine trying to help someone get away. It kind of reminds me, it's kind of like a dramatic version of a buddy comedy. I don't know really what you call that. And also the girl in it though is really good, because she doesn't speak until right at the end. It is very good, and the turning the cross into an X at the end is rather touching. Although it's literally a stone's throw from Canada. Why couldn't they just buried him in Canada? I don't know, but But anyway, that's my top 10 Marvel films. Obviously just opinion, so don't bite my head off. I might do a full review-ish thing of Infinity War, and we'll probably do maybe a top 5 worst Marvel films, because that could be interesting to look at. Thanks for watching if you watched, and goodbye.